What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Sunless Sea. My name is Splattercat. Happy to have you here today. As we have for a little while, and we're pulling into London. We're pulling off to London. So as we land on the Wolfstag docks, we had a fairly successful journey. It wasn't the most successful one that I've ever had. I don't think I have anything illegal on board, so that shouldn't matter. With the breath of relief, oh, we got nightmare strength, so yeah, that'll be fun to deal with. The blind Bruiser has more business for me. I'm actually going to refuse it, and so I will not pretend that this is has improved my evening. On the contrary, it has left me with a deep sadness in my heart. Notwithstanding, however, I might say that you have acquitted yourself honourably, and I do not think my patron will need to pursue the matter further. Now at this time, as long as you keeps your mouth, he leans close, taut snap shut. Good night. There we go. So we shouldn't have to deal with him any longer. I need to drop off the Devilis's second message to the Urbane Devil, who waits with a friendly smile and exposes his neat white teeth. He reads the letter and emits a long whistle that resonates oddly in the metal fittings and gives you the faintest tingle of toothache. There's some very senior names here. Very senior indeed. She wants to come home, eh? Well, either she's telling us straight, in which case Brimstone will have her baked in a pie, or she's trying to swindle us, in which case, well, I'd like her here so I can warm up my own pie oven. Either way, yes, the time has come. Bring her here, will you? We'll pay her fair. Thank you so much. You've advanced the cause of hell today. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I feel like the Jesus would be a little bit upset with me if I advanced the cause of hell. That actually sounds like a heavy metal song, though. Advancing the cause of hell. Sell my Scintillac to make a little bit of money, and then we're going to buy casks of mushroom wine, but let me resupply first. We have enough supplies to make it over to Scrimshander and back, so I'll probably scrimp on that. Let's talk with the Admiral. Our hull is looking okay. There's vital intelligence, so that London's supremacy is renascent. God bless her enduring majesty, the Empress. Oh yeah, in Fallen London, the Queen is no longer the Queen. It was taken over by like a pretender Empress, in case you didn't know. I don't know if I brought that up in previous episodes, but the monarchy's a little bit different now. Go ahead and drop off as much of this as I can. Get myself paid. Actually, we made a pretty good trip around. I didn't think I had this many port reports, so not bad. Not bad at all. Getting ourselves paid too, which is the really important part. We're getting like 55, 60 echoes for every single one of those. We're getting up there. Only 2,300 more, and we'll be able to afford ourselves a dreadnought. A dread is. We can visit the Rose Market, so that's probably a good plan too. She wants an unread log. We had Scintillac. We could have paid for that. Let's go ahead and we'll do the log. So that's 30 echoes right there. Not really worth it, but it gave us a little bit of cash. He wanted Devil Bone Dice. I probably could have provided that, but I'd rather do the one for the Outlandish Artifact because he's given us better than double price on that one. Although 7 barrels, so they're like 21 apiece. It's like 147. And then he gives us 500, so he's giving us almost 3 times market value for those. It really just depends what you want to bring in. At the shop, we have 20 fuel. That leaves us with very little cargo space, which is actually a tad concerning. I don't think I have anything else that I can sell here. I need to make space, though. I need to make space badly. We'll go ahead and spend a little bit of money on torpedo components. Oh, I know why I don't have it. I need to drop off the Clayman into London. Deliver the Clayman. We get 120 bucks for that, so that's easy enough. I will hire on more crews, so we've gained 3 crew, lost to terror, so that's nice. We've reclaimed all the people. I mean, these crew are basically going to be sacrifices that I'm going to send. Yeah, give me another Zaylor, too. This crew is basically a sacrifice for me to send into the deep so that I can get free loot. I will rest in my elegant townhouse. There it is. The light is pretty, so our yearning burning is a little bit bad. But, what are you going to do about it? Sometimes you got to sell that light. We can consider retirement from the Z-faring life. But I don't think I like that. A Z-side mansion will cost us 10,000 echoes in the prick finger wastes. But not too near the... If I had prick fingers, I feel like I wouldn't be allowed to go out in public. And at the bare minimum, because I gesticulate so much, if I was ever on TV, they would have to censor me a ton. That shit takes forever. Oh my god. You know that foggy effect they do on people's faces when they edit stuff out on like Cops or whatever, that shit takes forever because you got to go frame by frame in Vegas, and you just got to go frame, all right, there it is, and the next frame, there it is. And if they move considerably, if the cameraman doesn't keep them in the center of the frame, oh my God, it's so tedious. It is a giant pain in the ass. What else did I want to do around here? I'll probably pick up another agent just in case I need them for anything. Oops, I didn't want to give her my moves in the Great Game, but then again, 50, it's $50, whatever. A little present from the scholar. You've been so very helpful, and I wanted to give you something for your next voyage. I've bottled it myself. Oh, 2 supplies, thank you. It smells pickled, chemical, salty, and once it might have been an eel flesh. But the scholar assures you that its vital nutritional value, save it for an emergency, perhaps. I love roasted unagi. Roasted unagi is what is up. I think for right now, I was really kind of trying to hold on to random stuff. Wow, I get 50 echoes for those? I didn't realize they were worth so much. Intriguing snippets. Huh. Who had any idea? And I've got like 20 of those sitting around. It's actually an opportunity to make a decent amount of cash. I'll probably take myself up to 8,000-ish echoes. 6 more needed to change. Okay, so if I do 3 more, that'll take me up to Antiquarian 8. I don't think I've ever leveled up Antiquarian to 8 before. This is actually like one of the highest levels of Antiquarian I've ever had. So 1 to reach 8. There we go. Antiquarian has increased to 8. I don't know what that affects or if it's going to make my life better or worse. But hey, we now have Antiquarian 8, so we've done our part in the service of science, I guess, by gossiping and dropping off weird specimens. I will take 8 of these. 10 of these, perhaps. There we go, even better. So that should bring me up to 13 if I get a good result on my... If I get a good result on my helping the chronicler. I'll probably make 2 of these trips to get this up to like 20-ish, so that if anything goes wrong while I'm inside the archives, we won't have... Basically, we'll have a little bit of leeway. You know, we'll have a way that we can screw things up without worrying about the consequences too much. Because this is one of those quests that's going to get expensive in order for us to complete it. But I'm working on my immortality. In the previous episode, we had found a group of 7 individuals who had defied death or something like that. I'm not entirely sure the specifics of it, but there were 7 individuals who had tried to go to war with the afterlife or something like that. And they had like figured out the truth to living forever. And that's our ultimate goal, is we're trying to become immortal. Now, as I understand it, we're basically already immortal just by being in the Unterzee. They don't talk about this much, but in the Unterzee, people don't really die. They just get older and older and older until you wrap them up in mummy bandages, and then you take them up to the tomb colonies, and they stay there until a moth hatches out of their chest. And that's like when you actually die, but people can live for a long-ass time, essentially, under the sea. Under the sea. Under the sea. Oh, I got nightmares of a vast eye. Disappointing, but what can be said about it? Let's take a port report. Oh, really? With strange catches. Okay. So I'll keep an eye on those too. Strange catches aren't hard to come by. I'll take tea with the factor, so that I can gain a free supply. And then I'll strongly consider when we get back to... Or was it Rack? Where did we have Rack at? Rack was right there. Okay. So off we go to Guider's Morn. I'll probably just cut east really, really hard. We'll hit the Chelinet, and then we'll loop back. Or actually, our fuel might not hold for that long, though. It can be hard to determine. Every time I swap out an engine, you know, it changes my fuel consumption a little bit. And it makes me be like, well, I don't know what to expect from my adventure now. Am I going to run out of fuel and die? Who knows? Crawling stars. Eyes on deck, everybody. Not going to worry about it. I really need to figure out Well, I got to work on some of these. Got to work on some of these quests. The Poissonnier, we need more catches, though. I think I can get those if we go to the Chelinet, and so I'm thinking I might make a big stop by the Chelinet. Thought I saw something down there. And if we're going to the Chelinet, it would especially be in our interest to murder as many random sea creatures as possible on the way. That is a crack pirate frigate. Okay, we're not going to mess with him. But if we can find some bound sharks or something like that along the way, I definitely wouldn't turn it down. Or like some of those eels or serpents or whatever that are along the surface of the water, the albino sea serpents. If we could kill like 3 or 4 things on the way over to the Chelinet, we could turn that all into outlandish artifacts, which would be super helpful for later. Alright, so in Guider's Morn, we are not going to explore the Morn. He will trade a drowning pearl for solace fruit. That's actually not bad. I'll take it. So we now have 2 solace fruit. Do those go in my hold? They do not go in my hold. Solace fruit is kind of a weird bargaining item. Apparently it's a food that makes you feel almost like it's so delicious that it puts you into a state of like euphoria when you eat it. Like a lot of the things, if you notice, one of the big themes of Fallen London and Sunless Sea is kind of indulging in hedonistic quantities of sensation. That tends to be a recurring theme in Fallen London, is that below the sea there are so many things that are just like so wondrous for your sight or so delicious for your taste that you become addicted to them very, very quickly. Like there's a lot of things down here that are a terrifying temptation. Oh, good. We got our port report for Guider's Morn too. That one should be worth a little bit of money. And then we don't really have a whole lot left to do, so we'll bounce on out. We haven't even started the quest for the Blemigan quality, or the Blemigan colonies. So you can get these, there's like these things that are a mixture between a cat and a jellyfish. They're called Blemigans. And there's kind of a side quest, or I guess not really a side quest, but kind of an understory, I guess, or like a side story, where you can take these cat jellyfish, to various islands and just populate them there. And they're violent. Like these things are like hordes of like flesh-consuming monsters, and you can basically create these little colonies of friendly flesh-consuming monsters that only like you on various islands. There can be some humorous results, no doubt. We'll go back to the Copper Quarter. I'll see if there's anything that my Imperial Agent needs here. And if my Imperial Agent needs anything, then I'll try to make her life a little bit easier. We are going to have to get the Timon's Mercy soon, though. We're not on amazing terms with the Connaught at the moment. We're in a little bit of trouble. We sunk a couple of their ships who, if we're being honest here, they shot us first. But apparently the Timon and the Leopard don't care. They're like, oh, well, who gives a shit? We're allowed to shoot at you because we're the Connaught, and that means we do whatever the hell we want. And I was like, that's delightfully Mongolian of you, but let's see here. So we can lure an adventurer to wrack. Yeah, that's true. I should probably do that. You sidle beside her and comment on the water. It's beautiful how the city ripples, isn't it? Reminds me of a port you once came across. A place where they light their way with colored fire and dine on fish-fed flowers. She need only find the red and white lights between the waves. The captain huffs. Blue smoke streams through her nose. She dumps her ash into the water and sets off for the docks without another word. She'll be sailing over wrack in no time. And so I have to send... Oh, really? So we're just tricking people into going to their deaths in wrack. Oh, man. Such a giant asshole. Does my spy need anything? What does my spy want right now? Prisoners, honey? Okay. So my spy wants prisoners, honey. I had some with me, which is a little bit disappointing. I probably should have dropped it off here. But it's alright. There's no point holding on to stuff that's taking up cargo space. That's another reason why I want a bigger ship, is having 70 or 80 cargo space would really be satisfactory. It would be a lot better than what we have going on right now with this 40 cargo space. That's been one of the principal constraints of this entire playthrough. Yeah, I think we're alright for right now. I've got more than enough supplies. We'll go over to Khan's Shadow, and then we'll cut north. We'll do the Scrimshander thing. We'll swing all the way around the map down to the Chelinet, if we can keep our fuel supplies locked in. And then we've also got to visit, let's see, port report. There it is. Inside the shops, we can get Stygian Ivory, a crate of human souls, casks of mushroom wine. We're actually fairly close, too. Little expensive, but I think we could make it work. I'm gonna sell my captivating treasures, I think. Having sold both of my treasures, I just noticed that this is a sell icon, it's not a buy icon. I don't know why I always do that. But we've only got the 10 casks of mushroom wine. Can I actually buy fuel here? Yeah, if I can save the time, I would rather do that. So we'll just buy the fuel now. We officially have enough money to buy our dreadnought, though. So that's pretty sweet. We should be sailing like in a real ship pretty soon. With like 35 men on board who we can dedicate to the cause whenever we want. I'm going to kill the lamp and try to avoid this guy. I can't kill any more Connacht ships. I keep sinking Connacht ships and I'm going to get myself into some real trouble. Oh, hello, Ollie. My cat is ridiculously spry. My cat jumps all the time like there's a baby gate in the living room so that the dog can't get out of the living room. Because he gets himself into trouble. He starts digging through the litter box for kitty truffles and gets into the bedroom and starts rolling on all the laundry and stuff like that. And it's just like, I can't have that. He also likes to eat the carpet for some reason. I don't know. There's a joke in there somewhere. But I took him to the vet and the vet was like, does he perchance eat carpet? And I was like, yeah, why? And she's like, well, the stool sample that I ran from your dog, because my dog was sick, I had to take him, he got doggy flu. So I took him to the vet just to be careful, because frankly, I like the little guy. He's grown on me at this point. He's grown on me. It's weird how, like, something can simultaneously be a constant annoyance, and yet you love him a lot. Like, I assume that must be what it's like to have a kid. Like, they're constantly bothering you, breaking your stuff, otherwise costing you a lot of money. But at the same time, for some reason, you just like having them around. You're like, all right, cool, whatever. Glad. So anyways, I took him to the vet, and they ran his stool sample because he was sick. He was out for a couple of days. I'm not even sure what happened to him. I think he must have eaten something while we were out on a walk or something like that. I don't know. We got him back from a walk like last week on like Tuesday night, and he was just laying around for like about 24 hours. He just like laid on the floor, laid on the couch. If you moved him, he would whimper, and it was like one of those things where, all right, he doesn't feel good. I've had enough pets to know that he doesn't feel good, but you know, you hope it's nothing serious, especially since he's a puppy. He's had all of his parvo shots and everything like that, so I wasn't worried about it being anything fatal. My assumption was that he had probably just picked up a bug or eaten something, and the doctor concurred. The doctor was like, yeah, chances are, since it's been raining a lot where I'm at, it's been raining nonstop for like 2 weeks now. We took him out in one of the little gaps when it wasn't raining, and there's a lot of like rotten leaves and stuff around. Chances are he probably just ate something rotten. Apparently dogs are not immune to Giardia. I had no idea. Humans get Giardia, cats can get Giardia, dogs can get Giardia. I had no idea. I thought that Giardia was like a human-only thing. Let's go ahead and we will take its meat. Got another hunting trophy, which I really, really wanted. Lost 6 hunger, but we gained some terror. Alternatively, we need to get into Scrimshander now and drop off some of these wine casks so that we get our time in the archives. I'm going to stack up like 20, 25 time in the archives before I give this another go, because I want to be sure that it's something that can be accomplished before I dick around and waste a whole bunch of time on it. Last time we had around 10, 7 I think we had, 7 or 8 time in the archives, and we got kind of deep down in there, but we weren't super successful. In addition, I'll probably bring some Foxfire candles back too, because I find that with a lot of the exploration events, you need to have Foxfire candles, so I'll probably just keep like 2 or 3 with me, just in case. And if they aren't useful for Scrimshander, when we dive down to the bottom instead, what I'll use them for is Nuncio or some other location. What's over here? Is it a critter? Looks like a critter. Oh, it's a mine. Never mind. Yeah, we definitely don't want that. Let's not go next to the giant mine that's like the size of some of the settlements in this game. That's a mine that's like the size of a house. It's a pretty big explosive. That thing will definitely bring the Bracoom. And I think I'm just about all Bracoomed out right now. I will accept the price in dock. We will assist the Chronicler. We've failed, but that gives us 1 time for free. We will gather at the stage after getting our port report. And we will begin dropping off and unloading wine. There we go. So now I have 13 time in the archives. That actually speeds up the process by quite a bit. I'll watch a heroic play. So we lost 10 terror, but we lost 50 echoes. Truly, this is what heroes are made of: courage, charm, and an ample capacity for violence. The moral is clearly defined. The prop horses are surprisingly well painted. How considerate of history to provide such an exemplar of heroism. The crowd roars its approval and keeps the glib historian busy with demands for more wine. His efforts to serve the unruly lot deserve a play of their own. Okay, cool. We've got that covered. We'll go ahead and leave the amphitheater now, and we will leave Scrimshander. Pay the price. We'll leave past the triumphs. That's done. Done, done, done. And now that we're all full up, what I'm going to do, done, done, done. I'm probably going to head up to Mount Palmerston, and this will be where we end the episode. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerdcastle for the next episode. Approaching number 50. We're getting there. Give it another week or two, and we might just be there, of Sunless Sea Zubmariner, one of my favorite games that has ever come out. Like, that's pretty high praise, because I'm a giant game cynic. Like, I tend to have problems with just about everything, and my only problem with this game is how slowly it plays. But even so, it kind of fits the theme of the game. So anyway, Sunless Sea is one of my favorite games that has ever been released. Like, it's up there with Shadowrun for the Sega Genesis. And you know how I talk about Shadowrun for the Sega Genesis with some reverence as one of my favorite games of all time. And so this is pretty high praise. The developers have made a really, really fantastic title. I will see you all in tomorrow's episode of Sunless Sea Zubmariner. Bye, everybody. It's been fun.